Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a while. Last video I posted was just a miscellaneous bunch of stuff getting caught up in the garage, but this weekend I hope the video is going to be caught up, and we'll be posting one up hopefully Sunday night if everything comes in and if all the parts come in this weekend. So parts list is ordered for two vehicles right now, and there's another one I'm going to be working on, unfortunately. So I'll turn this around real quick and show you what I've got going on with it, and then talk about how disgusted I am with this whole project. So that's a 2019 Chevy four-wheel drive, 5.3. I've always wanted a new truck, and I wanted it lowered. Everybody that I've talked to has had one, had pretty good luck with them, and no issues at all. I've had this for, I think I got 30 or 40,000 miles on it. I've lowered it. I'm not even going to say what kit I put on here until I get done with this and if I figure it out. But I am very close to pulling this back off and putting it back to factory. This thing rides so bad. It is so rough. I've C-notched it. I've airbagged it. It rides so rough. It's got vibrations in it. Call the tech line for it. Talk to a couple people. They want pictures of it. It cannot be riding that load with that kit on it. Well, it does. I've had to C-notch it, bag it in the rear, which helped a little bit. I have pulled trailers with it, so I mean it does help with that situation, but it's just been one thing after another. Drove it last weekend for a road trip for about 5 hours, and every bridge or dip in the road, it felt like it needed a new set of shocks on it. And it's got new shocks on it from the kit that I purchased and put on it. It's been ongoing. Vibrations in it, can't get the drive shaft angle right. The 19s, I have researched and found out that the 19s have shims in their rear end on the leaf spring pads. I was told it didn't need those from the kit. They should have been built in for the design of the pinion angle. It had a vibration in it, so I put the shims back in it from the factory with the flip kit, and it was a little better. It still has a vibration at about 66 to 73 miles an hour. Not at 80 it runs really smooth, but not very often do we run 80 miles an hour going down the road. We do have a lot of interstate driving with this truck, so that's the main thing we've got. Well, the main miles on it are interstate, but it has been one disappointment after another. There's a couple Facebook pages out there I've asked questions on, and nobody seems to have any problems, no issues with rubbing, vibrations, riding like a wagon. This last weekend we went to Indy, and every dip or every bump in the road, every bridge we crossed, it felt like it needed shocks. I mean, it's never rode this bad before. I looked into what they suggest for shock travel, measuring, the little dirt patch on top of it, the shock travel, and it could be completely wrong on how to do it, but there's like 2 inches above the shock on where it's traveled. Everything I've read and looked at and asked about has been about 4 to 5 inches of shock travel. So I ordered the shock extenders for it, put those on there. It didn't ride any better. I put the factory shocks back on it with the shock extenders. I haven't really drove it that far. Still not happy with it. So this weekend, I've got opportunity to get the cars rearranged and moved around so I can get this truck tore apart. So I'm going to rip the front end apart on it, and we're going to go through the front end, and I'm going to put the factory shocks back in the front of it. It does have a lowering spindle in the front, and it also has I don't know what you call them. They're sleeve. I don't know what you call them. So you got the spindle that drops at a couple inches already, and then it's got these sleeves that are a 1/4 inch thick that you can slide over the top of them, over the top of the shock. So, and then once you put it all back together, then it lowers it that much more. So it's 3.5 inches in the front now. So I cannot complain about what it looks like. It looks great, but it rides terrible. I have lowered almost everything I've owned, and I've never had anything ride this bad. From Camaros to old trucks to coilovers to just springs to spindles, I've never had anything ride this bad. This kit I bought, it was pretty decent, I thought. I've not seen too many people with the new truck that's got them lowered unless I'm on Facebook looking at some of the groups on there, and nobody's got any problems with them. There was a marketplace a couple of nights ago. I found one. I checked it out. The guy said, no, it wasn't an issue about the ride. It was just the way it looked. The wife didn't like how low it sat, so that didn't help me out at all either with questions on that kit. So anyway, it's going to be quite a weekend. I'm going to strip this truck apart tonight. I don't know how much I'm going to video of it other than maybe the results after I get done with this. I got 2 or 3 other projects I'm waiting on parts for, but the main goal is just to get this truck done and see if we can't go from there. See if I can't get this thing figured out. I'm so sick of it. Shims in the transmission, shimming that up to get the right angle on there. The kit doesn't come with it. I was told it doesn't need shims because everything should fit this truck and ride just like it's supposed to with the right pinion angles and no vibration supposed to be in it. What else? Oh, the rear kit said it wouldn't. When I bought it, they said it wouldn't need to be C-notched because I didn't want to C-notch the new truck. I was a little hesitant on cutting up a frame of a new truck. And plus, I've not done it before. So every video I've watched in YouTube videos, I've watched some guys do it, and I can do that. So we end up C-notching the truck because there was no clearance on the rear end. So I really hate to put this back to factory, but I'm really sick of driving this truck. I'm about ready to roll it down the road, so I'm about over it. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working on this weekend. We're going to be working on tearing this truck apart. Got everything moved around the driveway, so finally, that seems to be the hardest part about the whole deal. It's either working in the driveway or working in the driveway. So I got everything moved around so I can get to the truck. So I'm going to start ripping some wheels off this thing, get it up in the air, and I'm going to start ripping this front end apart. I found parts on it let me see, I found parts last night, so I got the new, not new, but I found the original shocks and stuff for it. So I've got those. So right now I'm going to start ripping this thing apart, get it up on the blocks, and we're going to see if we can't put new parts back on it. Okay, not new parts, but different parts, and we're going to see if we can't get this thing figured out. Like I said, if you guys got any ideas or comments, please post them up, because like I said, I love the way it looks. I just cannot stand the way it rides. Everything I've had rides better in this thing, and I've lowered everything for years. So alright, so I'll get you guys caught up here shortly, but hopefully I'll get this thing ripped apart here soon. I don't know how long this is going to take. It's been a while since I've had it apart, so we'll go from there. Alright, I'll catch you guys up here soon. Alright guys, I've gotten a little bit closer on this, so what I have found out, let me flip this around here. It's very interesting what I have found. Sorry about that. Alright, so what I found, I've just taken this off, started taking this shock out of here, and the top of... Alright guys, so I've got started on this one side, and what I found right off the bat is I'm looking around here and I'm shaking the wheel down, and it's got a lot of a clunking noise in the front end, which it did have while driving it down the road. So something either broke, come apart, or something in there. So what I've done is, actually, let me flip this around, I'll show you what I've... So I found this laying in the top, up here on top of the spring. So that looks like it's the top of the shock, to me. Could be wrong, I've not got it all apart yet. But now that I've got this apart somewhat, the shock, I believe, is broke in the top. And I felt up in the top here, and that stud that I just showed you is part of what's going on here. So now I think I found the problem. So I was going to put the factory shocks back on it. So I guess there is no question I'm going to be putting the factory shocks back on it. So we'll see what happens. So this kit came with sleeves that go over the collar. So I'm going to see where they're at on this. and then I'm going to go from there and then see if we can't put. I don't know if the sleeves they go over the. I'll show you once I get it apart. But they go over the housing here, I believe. It's been a while since I've done it, but they go over this housing, and then what they do is they lower it just a little bit more. So I've got 3 of them. I believe there's 3 on there. So those 3 actually lower it about, I think it's another 3/4 or up to an inch. I'll look at it when I get it apart and show you guys what's going on. But I gotta get this thing out of here for now. But yeah, I think this is probably part of the ride quality in the front end anyway, and definitely comes to tell me what the clunking noise is in the front. So, and it's like I said, it's not rode this bad since I don't know, I've got 40,000 miles at least on this truck, and it has not been near this bad. So it's always had this noise in the front since I put it together from day one. So anyway, let me get this ripped apart. I'll show you what we got going on after I get it out of there, and then we'll go from there. I am definitely going to be putting the factory stuff back in it now for sure, and it should be fine. So let me get back to it, guys. All right, guys, I'm back for another update. Definitely taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to, as normal. But I'm going to flip this around and show you what's going on with this shock. That was new when I put it in 30,000, 40,000 miles ago. Alright, I did put the shock compressor on here to pull this out, but here it is, it's falling apart. There it is. Broke off the top. Not for sure. It looks like it's worn out. It's worn out. I don't know if that's a word. After tonight, it probably is. Anyway, it doesn't look good on the end. The rest of it I found up there. But there was some spacers that was supposed to be in this, so let's see where they're at. Whoa. Alright, well, I'm not for sure where the spacers are at, but I know where they're not. They're not on it. So, let me walk up front of the garage here and I'll show you what spacers I'm talking about. So there's supposed to be spacers on this thing. I know I put spacers in it because it lowered it even more. So this kit came with these. Alright, so these collars right here go on the outside of those shocks and slide down over the top of them. And every time you put one in, it's 1/4 of an inch per each one of these. So I think the kit comes with 6 of these. I think. Like I said, guys, it's been a while since I've done this, but they should still. So I'm not for sure where they went. So it's going to be interesting to pull the other side apart to find out where they went. But that's where we're at with that noise. The riding, this may have an issue with the ride quality for sure. But it's done it almost since the day I put it in here. So I don't know. I'm glad I tore it apart. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to, I guess, take a break for a few minutes. I got this one side apart, and then once I take a break, I'll come back and I'm going to disassemble this spring, and then I'm going to put the factory one back in it. And I'm going to see about, I don't know, maybe I should take the other side apart before I put this one together and find out where the heck the spacers are. I don't know. This has got me puzzled a little bit, as usual, but I don't know where the spacers went. Unless once the top of that shock broke and then they just vibrated loose in there, maybe they cracked and they fell out as well. So I don't know. I know it's been, like I said, it's had a noise pretty much since I put it together. So it wasn't much longer after I put it together that has broke. So all right, well, I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back out here. Like I said, maybe I'll tear the other side apart before I put this one together. I'd like to know if the other side's got spacers in it. If it does, then I'm really curious on where the other ones went. And 2, do I need to put the other ones in there? I don't know if those spacers will go over the factory shock, though. So that might be something I've got to measure as well. If it does, I may put them back in. I may not, because like I said, I love the looks, but I'm sick of the ride. So I may end up putting them back in without the shims in it, and if I do that, we'll see what the ride height is on it. It may be a little bit odd, which We'll see what happens. I don't want to look like a squatter. That's what they do down here in the South. I don't know why, but they only buy half the lift kit. So anyway, guys, let me take a break. I'll catch you guys up here shortly, and I'll see if I can get this side figured out. Maybe the other side, and we'll go from there with it. So, all right, I'll be back soon. Okay, guys. So we've got the shock apart. I'm going to show you the difference in the sizes. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to hold it up there. Actually, it's a little dark out here, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But I'm going to flip this around. I'll show you the different sizes of the shaft and the nuts on the top of this thing to hold this together compared to the GM equipment. So let me flip it. So I am going to put the vacuum back in it. I'm pretty sure what has happened is when this top broke off here, the collars that go across here, they probably slid right off the top and ended up who knows where between here and Wisconsin in the last 40,000 miles. But this is the part that should be going on the top of this. And it looks like it just wore it out. And I don't know. Pretty sure I checked all the torque specs and everything when I'm putting this back together. So I don't know if it's just something wrong with the equipment. I know we've had some stuff break before, but all right, sorry guys about that air compressor running in the background. But anyway, this is the part that broke off the top. And like I said, I'm pretty sure everything went back together like it's supposed to. But it looks like it just wore that shaft out at the top. And I haven't tore the other side apart yet, but I'll get some video of it as well. But I can't remember where those the collars went on there that I showed you earlier. I'm not for sure where they slid on here at, but right now I'm not thinking where they go. I know they were on here. I'm sure they were, but I'll find out, I guess, when I pull that other side apart. But you can see the difference in the shaft sizes. I mean, I'm not going to measure these with the caliper, but I mean, you can see there's a noticeable difference. And same thing even with the nut that goes on the top of that. The threads and everything else are a lot bigger, different sizes. A lot bigger, different sizes. Okay, so it's been a long day, but you can tell there's a difference in the sizes of these as well. So anyway, I'm going to put the stock spring back on the stock strut, not strut, but shock, and I'm going to put this thing back together as it was. It's got a drop spindle on it, so it shouldn't affect the alignment or anything on it like that. I'm not going to put the spacers in there that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to put it back together, see where we're at with height off the ground, see where it's at, and hopefully it's not going to be too much of a front end I don't know, a squatter or whatever you want. Anyway, we're going to put this thing back together with this stock one on there, see where we're at. I am going to pull the other side apart and see where we're at with those shims too, because those collars or those spacers on there, I'm very curious to see how many I had on there. I could be wrong, but I thought I had 3 on there. So we're going to continue working on this project tonight and see if we can't get this one side together before I call it a quit for the nights. So like I said, I'm getting a little tired, so I got to get this side, at least this spring, and ready to go back together tomorrow. So alright, maybe I need a little break so I can get it all done, finish up tomorrow. So, alright, I'll catch you guys up on the next little phase of this. So, alright. Alright guys, alright, I am back. Stayed up last night a little later than I did, that I wanted to, but I did finish the driver's side up last night. So, got rested up, went for a run this morning, got back up, ready to go on the other side. Got it back apart, got it back down on the ground, put it back together. I did find, what I was talking about was the collars that go underneath the shock. So I'm going to flip this around. I'll show you what we found on the other side. I did find out where the collars go, so that's a plus. I did also find another broken shock. Same spot the other side was. So let me flip this around. I'll show you what we got, and then I'm going to go for a test drive, and we'll see how it does. I'm hoping the ride height isn't too bad, but there's not much I can do with it other than trying to figure out how to raise the back up a little bit. But like I said, the spacers in there, I guess I need to measure them to see how much difference it did make. But I'm really hoping it either makes it a little bit leveler I guess not leveler, but hopefully it'll raise the front end up a little bit. Not where it rubs, but not so it looks like a squatting truck. So if it's a squatting truck, well, we're going to have to figure out something else. So let me flip this around and show you what we got here. Alright guys, so here's the other side. It did the same exact thing. It broke off the top and looks like it's been broke a while. Now the rings that I was talking about are underneath this. These slide up. Then I've got the rings on here. So I've got 3 on each side. The other shock, I checked it out this morning as well. It's got 3 on it as well. So that's the difference of what the stock height's going to be. About an inch, maybe inch and a quarter. I think these are only quarter. I mean, maybe it's only an inch. I think these are only a quarter, but I guess I need to measure them. But if that's the case, hopefully it doesn't look too bad once I get it back in and out on the road. So we're gonna go for a drive. We're gonna see how it reacts. It's got to be better. It's got to be better than it was. Of course, you have no shocks in the front of a truck like this. It's heavy, a lot of weight on it. So I gotta get everything moved out of the way, the driveway, get this thing pulled out, get it on the road, get some miles on it down the road and back, and then we'll see what happens with it. And I'll give you guys a final update on what the heck's going on with this truck. Like I said, I just hope, 1, hope it rides better. 2, I really hope the ride height doesn't really get messed up too bad. It's still got the drop spindles on it from the kit, but I just had it lowered with those spacers on there. So I'll get back with you guys here shortly. Let me get this thing pulled out, get it rearranged to the driveway so I can get out. We got, as you can see, cars stacked up in the driveway. So I gotta get that one moved out of the way. I gotta get help to get this out of the way because our house has got a carport, which is great, but I don't know why we put the posts in the way. So it's not straight in. You can't drive straight in. You got to angle everything in here and out of here, get in and out of the garage. So it's just been a cluster. That will be another project someday, hopefully soon, because it's been very aggravating, but it's better than nothing. It's better working out there in that sun. So all right guys, I'll get back with you. Let me get everything moved out of the way. I'll go for a drive and we'll see what we got. All right guys, so yeah, like those glasses, yeah, something different. So anyway, it did raise it up, of course. It put some miles on it, so it did raise it up. Those are about 3/4 inch spacers by the total. You add them all up, so 1/4 inch a piece, 3/4. So it raised it up about 3/4 of an inch in the front. It's okay, I guess. I mean, it rides a lot better than it does, or did, I guess. Of course, it got shocks on it now, so that helps to ride a lot. So, but it did raise it up just a little bit. I do have helper bags in the back of it, so that'll help. I mean, if I need to, I can pump a little air into the back and get it raised up a little bit. But I mean, overall, it doesn't look too bad, and it definitely drives a lot better. But we'll find out the test when the wife drives it when she gets back from her road trip this week. And then probably what we're going to do is, well, once we get on a long road trip, we'll figure it out. That's when you get the miles on it and you really hit every bump from here to everywhere else you're going, and it's just, yeah, that's when we'll see. But riding around the interstates here, 24 Briley out here on 155 back roads and stuff, it's definitely an improvement, but it definitely sets a little bit higher. So all right guys, that's probably going to wrap this up. I'm going to try and get this all put together tonight because there's several different clips on here. But I'll try and get this put together tonight. So it's been a while since I put one up, so it might take a little while to get this remembered, my own remembering stick to figure this out. So should be about it. So that's it for this one, I hope. Hopefully there's no more issues with this truck. So I'll catch you guys up on the next one.